This is Takeshi.
Kasia.
We are Shushoku Cafe, and we want to talk one quick thing. This is our first time we are shooting the video together here in Michigan today. And then today we have a special guest, Mr. Doc from Japan as well. And can you introduce a little bit about yourself, Doc, please?
Sure. I'm Doc Kane. I'm a co-founder of Maple Oppo here in the Kansai area of Japan. We just moved to lovely Hikone, very windy Hikone from Kobe. So I've been here since 2017. We run a pretty fun company. And that's my kind of mini bio. You can find us out there. Thanks for having me.
Thank you. As we have Docson and Kaisa-san from Ikigai Connections today, we want to focus about you both are very fluent in Japanese as well. And today's topic, we want to talk about how to keep up your Japanese. So let's dig in for more details. So my first question is going to be, there's some common question when we talk with the candidate is, once you graduate from school, there's not many options to keep up your Japanese. There may be some like books or like a flashcard or something like that, but there's not many choices for that. So I want to ask you both, like, what kind of choices do you have to keep up your Japanese? Maybe you go first, Kasia-san?
Sure. Yes, there's actually, interestingly, a lot of options out there, and it might even be overwhelming. So there's a bunch of podcasts that you can listen to practice your kikitori, your listening skills. There's things you can read in Japanese to practice your reading and maybe even kanji reading skills if you look it up yourself. There's probably, you can get tutors. You can go to schools that offer, whether they're local in your area or online somewhere. There's quite a few, like you said, there's Anki and a bunch of apps out there that also offer learning. If anybody's interested, I will drop a link in the description below for this resource page that one of my former interns created, and it has everything in categories to explain different options that you can click on to learn. But I'm going to pass the mic over to Doc now to tell us something a little bit more specific, and you can also share what exactly you're doing to teach people.
Sure. Yeah. So we recognize this gap too. So it's a big gap. People kind of tap out after level 2 in college if they've gone through a kind of structured program. They've reached the end of that second level textbook, and then what happens, right? So the company that we started, my wife and I, Deiko is the other co-founder. We originally started out as translators, and we wanted to spin that translation effort into a way to help people learn more Japanese. And so our target market is advanced and intermediate and advanced learners who are exactly as you described. Like, how do I fit myself into some sort of structured learning program? How do I keep going with my Japanese if I'm really wanting to learn more? If I'm serious about Japanese, those are the kind of learners we look for. And a program like ours, we find works pretty well for people. I think the key overall is finding something that allows you, the learner, to be consistent. It could be anything that works for you, as long as you get up every day and you do it. It's like anything that's hard, running, working out, playing an instrument. If you just do it haphazardly, you don't see the results. And so you just need to lock into something. It could be just a speaking partner, kind of something like that. A classroom environment works really well for some people. Some people just come here and they're like, I'm going to learn at the YMCA for 2 years or whatever. And they come out. Those programs, by the way, are excellent. YMCA programs, anything that's really immersive. In 2 years, lots of people from countries other than the US come here, and they are working part-time and that sort of stuff. So you just have to find something that works for you, I think. Our program works for a certain kind of learner. You got to just kind of keep at it, basically.
That's interesting. I really agree about to be sustainable is you have to have some interest in there. Because when I learn some languages, I can't keep going in it. If it's just for grammar or if I'm learning for the phrases, I get tired, I get bored. And then that's the point. I think like my daughter is born in here, US, and I'm trying to let my daughter to keep up with Japanese. But if I just teaching the Japanese, they can. But if I show them the YouTube, their favorite movies, their favorite things in Japanese, then they just stick in there every day. And then now I realize like so many like a fluent person when I met in here is like of course they study a little bit, but most of the time they have some passion about some interest and keep doing it. And one thing I remember is the courses which Doc you offer is like reading some like a Japanese like literature, like maybe that's one of the things like because you are interested in literature, so you want to understand the culture, you want to understand the background about it. I think that's the key to something like that.
Yeah, precisely. Yeah, so our course is entirely built on a short story by Osamu Dazai, and that's the base of our program. And then we built business language and dialogue and all sorts of language and work around that story. But the core is absolutely, like you're saying, the story. So we get readers, we get people who like to write, people who like to speak with one another. Creative people are really drawn to us because of the kind of awesome, stylish videos that Reiko makes and things like that. And I'm really particular and critical as to how I explain grammar concepts because we do all that in English. So my complicated way of learning a language has played out in every positive way in the program. I'm a musician, so there's lots of audio and stuff like that. So if you're into that, if you want to like learn through story, our program works for you. But if the last time you read a book was when you were in high school and you're now 40, the last thing you want to do is learn through story, right? YouTube or the newspaper or something else would be a better option for you as a learner. Yeah. So to each his own.
Get it. Can I ask a question, Kasia? So what was, what makes you keep learning Japanese? What was your interest, not only for the language, what makes you, keep it up for that?
There's a few things, but basically I really wanted to excel in business Japanese. So when I got a job in Tokyo, even though I wasn't required to know Japanese, I heard it all around me. And I remember thinking, okay, I want to understand what people are saying so that I can at least understand the meetings and maybe speak in English. So I would listen. It was a lot of kikitori no renshu, listening under exercises. And I'd write things down. And then I would ask, all right, can I maybe try to pick up the phone and say, nani nani de gozaimasu, like this is this company. And that was scary. I remember my heart just stopping every time and my coworkers always laughing that I wanted to challenge myself and pick up the phone. And it led to one after another. So business-wise, that was my deep wish to be a part of the team and to collaborate as well and provide value in Japanese. However, on the side, I was, to put it mildly, obsessed with Japanese TV dramas. And I would, back in the day with, VCR and recording, and I had just some VCR that didn't record ahead of time. There was no scheduling. It was just you had to be there to press record. I would watch all of the dramas, at least their first episode, and there was 10 or 12 per season on different TV shows or different TV channels. And I would watch them, the first episode, just to see which ones I liked. And I would narrow it down to maybe 2 or 3. And of course, if I couldn't watch them all, because I had a very busy schedule as well in Japan, I would record them and then watch them later on to study. And I would pause after hearing something I didn't understand and look it up in the dictionary. So watching a 50-minute episode took a very long time, but it was so much fun. And because I watched all those TV shows, they always had a shudaika, which is a song that's played over and over and over. Beginning, middle, and at the end. So when I did karaoke, I would practice singing those songs. And because I've been listening to it, it was a kikitori no renshu. And then in karaoke, I could actually practice singing in Japanese because you're also reading the lyrics on the TV as it goes by. So it would be some slow songs if they were like a melodrama, and they were some fast songs if it was a really quick, intense, detective show. So that is how I kept my Japanese And to this day, I don't go to karaoke as much as I like, but it's still there. And I still use my Japanese practically on a daily basis in a business setting.
I like
So, yeah,
the idea. It's fun.
yeah,
Like, and then, you can keep doing it as it's fun.
it is.
Yeah. How
Yeah.
about you, Doc? How did you keep up running your Japanese? And now you're living in Japan. Of course, you are around all of Japanese, but before you go into Japan, I think you start running in US as well. So what was your method?
Yeah. So very little before I came here, actually, because I didn't have any real designs on coming here. It was kind of like I happened into an opportunity in a sense. And so I came, and then I knew, okay, I'm going. I should probably try and pick up on some Japanese. So I was using Hello Talk, actually, which is quite fun and useful. And I had to, I was going to come here to teach English, which is what I did for the first 4 or 5 years here. And so I had to focus on being good at English grammar, actually. So I had to study that sort of stuff. And then how did I get good at it? I'm not really that great at it, honestly. I'm still learning. I only been here a few years. So my desire to get better is because I have a 1-year-old baby daughter now. My wife is Japanese. Even though she speaks fluent English, I kind of feel like I'm not running a proper life for myself if I don't spend more time trying to learn Japanese. It's all around me, as you said. And there's nothing more embarrassing than being out and having I have some pretty good feel for accent. And so someone might try to engage me and I sound like I can whip things off, because of the initial part of the conversation. But the moment that's passed, I'm like, I don't know. It's terribly embarrassing, and being embarrassed is good. So as you said, Kasia, like challenging yourself and picking up the phone and being uncomfortable works wonders for my motivation, I think. So ask me that same question in 5 years, how I kept up with it, and hopefully I respond in Japanese. I can tell you how to do it.
The same video 5 years later. We're gonna do everything in Japanese, okay? That's the
works.
challenge.
Okay, there you go. I'll take you up on that.
So my next question is a little bit different topic. Like, after you learning Japanese, this is not only choices, but one of the choices is a lot of people wants to work for Japanese company in US or in Japan. And then the most frequent question is, do you have to be fluent in Japanese to work in Japanese company in US or in Japan? So maybe, Kasha, can you explain, like, if it's in US, how it is?
Well, when I speak with companies and when I speak with job seekers, I can tell there is a disconnect on this topic. And I believe that specifically in the US, if it's a Japan headquartered company that has a sales office or manufacturing location or engineering, tech, they will have requests for both. Sometimes they will want somebody who has advanced, maybe for very technical positions, or maybe sales related if the customers are Japanese. But a lot of times they don't have the expectation or even believe that they can find people who do have that Japanese language capability. So a lot of times it's one of the preferred options. If you have Japanese language or business cultural skills, you really can stand out from the other candidates that are applying for the same roles because you have the understanding of how Japanese business works, how to conduct yourself in meetings, how to hand out business cards if it's still in your industry, and how meetings get run, how negotiations happen. If you know that basic understanding, then just having language or cultural skills is very helpful for your application. And we also did a video on this topic. So we will add that below in the notes as well too, so you can look at what levels of Japanese are recommended. And that, I think, is very generic for the US, but how about in Japan, Doc? What are your thoughts on that, if you know?
I'm hardly the pro in this area, but I've run into a lot of people over the years and have kind of gotten a sense of what sort of things do happen. So, and I did write, before we opened the mic here, we were talking about me writing for Gaijinpot. So I did write for Gaijinpot for a number of years and was always hunting for different jobs to write about. And the big takeaway, I think, is unless you're aiming to work for a very large Japanese MNC or even an American MNC here in Japan, multinational company here in Japan, there are many opportunities, mid-tier and especially small-level companies, to work for a firm in Japan and not really speak much English or much Japanese, actually. Especially if you're an engineer, if you are proficient in tech skills that are highly sought after here in Japan. If you work in the tech industry and you're more like a project manager or a product manager, someone who interfaces with the Japanese speaking side of the house, as there are commonly two sides of the house in smaller, nimble companies, then you're going to want to be bilingual. You're going to really want to kind of beef up on your Japanese, because you're somewhat useless as a PM if you can't engage with customer service and sales and marketing and just with IT. So there are a surprising number of jobs that you can get here, especially if you wanted to start out a career in Japan. If you're young still, you want to come and you maybe want to start with a teaching experience because it's a relatively easy thing to kind of land an eikaiwa job and then look for other things. Many people segue into localization or translation, which requires surprisingly very little Japanese. Trading companies, you can kind of get by with little Japanese. The larger you go up the scale in importance and money as far as companies go, the more Japanese you're going to need. If you're like a nonprofit government person, you're going to have lots of Japanese. And a communications person. These are the other people that need a lot of Japanese, if not very fluent. If you're a PR person or somebody like that, all those people are quite well-heeled when it comes to Japanese, or well-spoken. Yeah, but I came here with, again, nothing.
Yeah.
However, it did take me 6 months to find a job teaching young children English, which is really weird and surprising. So it's not simple. Certainly not simple. You need a company like Quick USA to help you kind of get you going and
Yeah.
right and
What I understood is very encouraging. Like, first of all, like, you don't have to be fluent to work in Japan. There's some odd option, depend on the level. You have more options, but the most important thing is you try, keep trying. 6 months, you get it. And then there's several ways. So please don't give up. Like, there's some sort of way how to start it, and depend on their level. Then you have different strategies. And then once you start in there's a chances to go up. Then just keep learning Japanese, and then you're gonna have more opportunity or something like that. So
Yes.
for sure. You can always start your own business too if you want to do that sort of thing.
that's topic. Let's talk about next time. And
Yeah.
I want to ask a lot of questions about it. So as of today, I think this is great information about learning Japanese, and I'm sure like Doug and Kasia, you have a lot more information. So later on, we're gonna leave it in the comment for all of those lessons, classes, some of the idea we will share in here. So, and then if you have any questions, please ask Doug and Kasia about how to keep in Japanese.
Sounds good.
Sounds good. Thank you, everybody, for watching, and we'll see you next time in another Shushoku Cafe video.
Thank you. Bye.